you need money for that.
Of course you do.
You can't have defund the police and expect things to get better.
No.
The whole idea behind that is so insane.
It was, and let me tell you, the people that were yelling defund the police weren't speaking for the people they were protecting. In those neighborhoods, they didn't want less police.
No.
They didn't want less police. It was their businesses that were getting robbed. Their businesses were getting burned down. They didn't want less police. And it's so often that these activists, and I call it tyranny of the fringe. I've written this new book we'll talk about, I'm sure, in due time. But I talk about tyranny of the fringe. These activists aren't speaking for the people they say they're speaking for. They're speaking for themselves. They like the camera. They like the attention. They're not speaking for the groups they supposedly are speaking for.
And it works. That's what's crazy. It's effective. And in this day and age, when it's attached to something like the idea of being a progressive or being a good person, being on the left, being a kind person, you go along with these things, and the next thing you know, you're supporting the wildest of the leftists. You're supporting Antifa. You're turning a blind eye to violent thugs. And this is how screwed up everything's gotten just over the last few years.
And Joe Rogan is 100% correct. 100%. Because again, right now, it's not about being right. It's not about doing the right thing. It's about looking compassionate, looking like you're being nice, like you're being kind. But you're not. You're truly not. And again, if you were being nice, being kind, you wouldn't care. You would stand up and say, hey, look, man, chop the body parts off kids. That is wrong. That's 100% wrong. Putting kids on hormone blockers or whatever, that's wrong. We truly have to understand they cannot, submit. They cannot consent to something like that. They can't. Because again, they're kids. They don't understand what's happening. But again, adults do. So again, adults that stand up and say, hey, look, no, that's wrong. They're not viewed as kind, as compassionate. They're being mean. They're being bad. They're doing the wrong thing. And actually, they're not. They're doing the right thing. It's you that's doing the wrong thing. You are too afraid to stand up. And again, you want to go along with the crowd so you don't get called names. So it's not about being kind. It's not about compassion. It's about being strong. It's about strength. It's about courage and fear. That's what it's about. But again, people, they like to twist it. They like to give this whole progressive idea, like Joe said, this whole idea that, again, that you're doing the right thing. You're being kind. You're being compassionate if you use whatever pronouns they want you to use. And again, you're truly not. You're truly not being compassionate. You're not being right. You're being fake. And again, you're too afraid to say something because, again, you don't want to go against the crowd, against the herd. You don't. Because you know they'll stomp you to death. And believe me, they will. They stomp the hell out of you. They don't like you. And again, man, you want to know how compassionate these people are? Say something. Say the truth. Speak the truth. Be honest. You'll find out just how compassionate these compassionate people are. Not very.
Seems like 10 years ago, this is not possible.
No, and it's accelerating and not decelerating yet, but I'm beginning to sense that there's a pushback.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think they've made a serious miscalculation. They pushed so hard and so long that they've started to wake up middle America to the point that they're saying, wait a minute, what? That's not okay. When they start rewriting history, when they start rewriting science, when they start trying to get the government to co-parent with you, with your child, people start saying, okay, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't mind when you were running around here talking crazy, but now you're starting to get into my business. Like my grandmother used to say, now you've gone from preaching to meddling now.
Well, you know what's happening in Canada, right? I mean,
What?
Canada has some pretty insane cases that are going on right now about gender transition from really young kids. And there's all this pushback with parents, and there's all this because the parents are not being told that their children want to transition. So there's this guy that was talking about these issues of parents' rights in Canada, and he specifically said that parents don't have rights in Canada, that they have, I feel like he said they have obligations. Is that the term he used? But he said under Canadian law, parents don't have rights. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Let me make sure that's exactly what he said before I get sued. But when I saw it, I was like, this is such a crazy thing to say. And if that's the way their law is structured, fix that. Like, who are other people to tell you how to parent your child? And who are these people? Have they been vetted? Are they really good at parenting? They're supposed to be teachers. They're not supposed to be parents.
Here's
You know, guys, man, I think he's 100% correct. The Western world, middle America, is starting to wake up. They are. They're starting to wake up, and they're starting to push back. Again, this whole idea of defund the police and transgendered rights, which, again, it's not rights at all. They want to, they want to put kids on hormone blockers, therapy, and whatever. Cut body parts off. I mean, again, go back in time 20, 30 years and explain this to them. Find yourself and explain this to yourself 20 years ago. No. It wouldn't happen. You'd be like, what? No. I mean, again, 20 years ago, we couldn't even get over the idea of the possibility of same-sex marriage. I mean, it's true. Nowadays, man, again, cutting body parts off because we got to affirm people. No, it's wrong. It's evil. We have truly got to recognize what is happening. And again, you're supposed to defund the police because if you don't, if you stand up and you say, wait a minute, we're not going to defund the police. And again, man, black people, they can do whatever they want to do if they want to do it. And again, if you say that, if you say no DEI, no affirmative action, no defund the police, none of the stuff, then again, you're a racist. You're a bad person. Ooh, you're a bad white person. And again, man, I was told in the comments to one of my videos yesterday that I'm afraid of black and brown style. I'm flat black and brown. I'm afraid of change. It's like, man, number one, I'm not afraid. If I was afraid, I would not be up here. And no, I have no big platform to stand on. But again, I'm putting myself out there the best way that I can. So no, I'm not afraid. Not afraid of putting myself out there, but I am afraid of this country and the Western world changing the wrong way. Because again, we are truly changing the wrong way. We are being taken over. And people, they're too blind. And honestly, man, they're too stupid to realize they're asleep. They're asleep at the wheel. They're doing 90 miles an hour and they don't recognize what's happening. They truly don't. And again, they're going to argue it. They're going to tell you how bad you are, how racist and transphobic and whatever. They're going to tell you this stuff because, again, they don't see it. They're enveloped by darkness. That is what is happening. And again, it's taken over here. It's taken over the Western world, Canada. We have truly got to realize what's happening. So again, it's not about fear. It's about standing up, it's about doing what's right. And again, when enough people do so, it will stop.
It doesn't fix all the comorbid issues that come along with feeling like they're in the wrong body. But yet they're pushing this, and we're going to do some shows that are already taped that are revealing what the real results of this are. And I think people are going to be shocked that these medical organizations have signed off on this. I think they've just given in to the pressure.
Yeah, I just don't understand where the pressure is coming from. Another phrase they're using now is life-saving gender-affirming care. They like to smash them all together like that.
Well, I don't think
It's gaslighting.
I just don't think that there's evidence to suggest that's true. Is this
Here
the
it
guy
is.
you're talking
Yeah.
about?
He said there's no such thing as parental rights in Canada. Children have rights in Canada, and those kinds of policies restrict the rights children have. This is a wild thing, man. It's I've never seen anything like it.
But America's not far behind that, because
No.
I've talked to a lot of teachers, and they're telling me that they have a duty to the children, that if the child is not ready to talk to their parents about this, that it's okay for them to keep a secret from the child. Now, let me tell you what my problems with this are and see what you think. First off, if this is either a psychological phenomenon or a medical phenomenon, and the teachers are not trained in either psychology or medicine.
He is right on this. Man, again, they say nowadays, man, it's either medical or it's psychological. And I agree with that. I do. Well, actually, I think it's more of a spiritual issue. But for the sake of today's world, we're going to say medical or psychological. And again, man, it's definitely psychological if you're going to use those terms. Because again, you are born in the body you were born in. It doesn't matter what. You were born in the body you were born into. Again, we tell them, maybe you were born in the wrong body. No, you were born either male or female. And again, I know there's intersex, but intersex, man, that's like less than 1% of the population. But again, we're going to say, you were born male or female. And again, if you question that and say, maybe I was born in the wrong body, then again, you can accept reality. You can't accept what's happened. You can't accept what you are. And again, that would be psychological, not medical. There's nothing wrong with you. Again, there's something wrong with the way you view yourself. So again, man, and the reason why I think it's spiritual is because, again, you're listening to darkness, either inside yourself or very often, in the case of kids, outside of yourself, inside of other people. You're listening to them. And again, they're pushing this whole transgender stuff. And it's dark. It's darkness. Because again, you are what you are. But they're convincing you that maybe you're not. Maybe you're something else. Maybe you were born into the wrong body. Again, that's not right. Again, the teachers, they're not trained. They don't understand how to deal with this stuff. And again, they're being told, don't tell the parents. These people, these kids, and again, I'm talking about the teachers. They're kids. They had no idea what they're doing. And again, have these people, they buy into it anyways. So again, they don't know what they're doing. They will lead them down the wrong path. And again, the big problem right here is the lack of men, the lack of fathers in the homes. Because again, if you had that, we would not have this problem. I guarantee you. If you had strong men that said to their kids, told them the truth, no matter how unpopular it is right now, told them the truth about that stuff, about the racial stuff, about everything else, again, it would end. But again, that's what is missing. But guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a